This market is down about 5% since the presidential election. Of course, worries and uncertainty about whether or not we'll go over the fiscal cliff, largely viewed as the main culprit, as well as the uncertainty over where tax rates are going to be. My next guest says we are going off of the cliff. Joining me right now is GAMCO CEO Mario Gabelli, worried that the market could get worse. He joins me now exclusively here at the Schwab Impact Conference in Chicago. Mario, great to see you.
Maria, my privilege, and love to talk stocks.
Let's talk about it. So your take on the markets and the fiscal cliff. I want to begin there.
Well, it's pretty simple. In September of 2008, the market went down when they couldn't approve the TARP, and you watched it on television on the votes being taken. Then you had the same thing in July and August of last year. So like the Pavlov dog, I can feel it with individuals that I talk to everywhere. They're worried about this uncertainty over how much taxes are going to be taken out of their capital gains and out of their dividends. They're unclear about how this president is going to lead this country because he talked about unification again, and the first words out of his mouth were divisiveness. And they're uncomfortable, Maria. So then you have the cliff.
Yeah.
And the Pavlov dog experiment was right.
You have a lot of finger pointing once again. Well, let's talk about, the cliff, because I know you remain bullish on this market regardless, right? Long term.
No, but even you've got to assume that the Chinese government, Xi and Li, are going to basically step on the accelerator with regards to consumption. They're going to really help the economy grow, and they're taking power in March, if not sooner. Then in addition to that, there's an element of uncertainty in Europe. And in terms of what is going on in the United States, the economy is improving. There will be a penalty based on this uncertainty right now in the business sector. It's very clear. It's been going on for months, and you got to clarify it one way or the other. Let's get on with the next 5 years.
What's your strategy in terms of your tax strategy? Let's say I assume we go over the fiscal cliff, dividend taxes go higher, cap gains taxes go higher. What do we do?
Well, let's do it in a mosaic. First of all, we have to make America competitive. We have to get rid of some of the taxes that these lobbyists have baked in, like carried interest. In addition to that, there are a lot of corporate taxes that we can check off and get rid of. In addition to that,
my sources tell me the loopholes and exemptions leave $1 trillion on the table.
Well, let's go over the math. And the math is that we as a country spend $3.7, we take in $2.7. Of the $2.7, $400 billion of that is from corporations. And the notion of deferrals, defer now, pay later, is certainly very fundamental. It's a 101 of a book plan of anyone running taxes in a country and in the company. To the degree that Obama wants to make the United States more competitive, he's talked about a 28% minimum reduction in corporate tax from 35. He's talked about taking it down to 25 for U.S. manufacturing. That is a very positive step. Okay. I don't have him talking about that at the moment to create jobs, quality jobs. Tax reform. Raise taxes if you have to, raise revenues, lower the deficit, and get us on with the dynamics of running a business, running a country.
I know, but here we are in this
By the way,
moment
Maria, I don't subscribe. Somebody whispered to me as I was coming up, if these guys in Washington don't want to work and get this resolved, they shouldn't get paid. And I'm not going to subscribe to that premise, but that's certainly.
So this person said you basically, until these guys get a deal done, don't pay them?
These individuals, don't pay congressmen, politicians of any kind, including their staff.
Well, what are they doing anyway? I mean, what are we paying them for if they can't come up with a deal?
They're very thoughtful, and we will work to some kind of compromise.
All right, so let me ask you again about your tax strategy. Going into year-end, we're assuming taxes are going to go higher. Should I be doing anything different? Should our audience be doing something different, knowing the taxes are going to go higher?
I have a fundamental philosophy of a deferred tax as an engine of growth in terms of capital and returned earnings on the capital. On the other side of the coin, if I am assuming, Maria, that my tax rate goes from 15 to 20 on long-term capital gains with a 3.8% surcharge for the Affordable Care Act, that's 4% on long-term capital gains. Then on top of that, dividends are not clear. And clearly, do I want to mark up a portfolio? I can sell for a profit and buy it back immediately and pay the tax. In losses, you can't do that. On the other side, I have to point out that if you lose more than $3,000 in 2013, you can't deduct it. So there's unfairness in the tax code that individuals don't like to talk about. Then I heard someone suggest taxing 90% of my Social Security.
Barney Frank just said that.
Well, I don't mind taking my Social Security, and I get Social Security, and I put it in a lockbox and help reduce the deficit. If I'm paying 90%, let's assume I get $2,500 a month, that's $30,000. I would keep 90% of that to the government in that lockbox. I'd only keep $3,000. But every day I go to work, 6.2% out of my $110,000 or close to $6,000. So I'm going to have a negative cash flow for a deferred savings account that I've been in since I was 4 years old. I didn't take withholding then.
Right.
And then I pay Medicare. It's going to...
You lose your money.
Maria, 2.45% of every dollar, open-ended. Somebody is not thinking right.
Yeah, maybe they're drinking.
Or both.
Are you putting money to work in this market right now, or are you raising cash? Just tell me that.
No,
I'm trying to figure out my tax strategy.
Well, that's a different issue. From a point of view of me buying a company by buying shares at a discount for what I could buy the entire company at, to the degree the price comes down 5%, that's great. I'd rather buy stock cheaper, and I'm excited every day because stocks are getting cheaper and we can buy stocks. The tax strategy is different. First of all, if I have an IRA, I don't care, obviously.
Right.
To the degree that I own shares of a public company and to the degree I want to mark it up and pay my tax now, I am giving serious consideration. And my clients are. You know, we manage separately. Possibly harvesting part of the profit, the embedded profit today. And I guess we're kicking the can. Our own clients are, for the next 4 weeks, trying to figure out, will there be some kind of clarity as to what to do? Yeah,
well, that's what we're all waiting for. Mary, good to have you on the program.
Maria, I didn't give you one stock.
Give me a few stocks right now.
No.
Come on.
No.
One stock?
No, time ran out. We'll come back another time.
Oh, my God. You're leaving us hanging. You're leaving us hanging. 1 or 2 stock picks right now.
I am buying them every day. I'll give them to you at another time. Thanks. Come on. You know the names. Come on. I'm buying Viacom. I'm buying Hillshire. That's a spinoff from Sara Lee. I'm buying Mondelez because I think Irene Rosenfeld is going to make us a lot of money. I'm buying companies like INAP, which are going to get taken over. AMC, which is Walking Dead. Nice to see you.
Love you. Thank you, Mario Gabelli, for joining us. Our coverage of Schwab Impact 2012 continues online, by the way. Go to CNBC.com. Is it good to invest during uncertain times? Check out investorsummit.cnbc.com.